Coming up on the Paper Talk today, we're looking at what is going on Manchester United's transfer. It feels like a bit of a nightmare. Why are we not selling players? Why are we not buying players? Plus, talking of nightmares, we've got another injury crisis. The season's not even started and we've got an injury crisis. Let's get into it. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and the weather, it's all right. My parker's on the floor. Loads of stories to get through. We're going to be talking about Manchester United's latest transfer news, so make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. And it's a bit of a grim time at the minute when it comes to Manchester United transfers. We'll get into all that. First of all, I want to talk about injuries. Manchester United having another little mini injury crisis. Erik ten Hag, speaking ahead of the Community Shield, said that the likes of Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof and potentially Luke Shaw as well, all either doubts or out of the Community Shield. Now, it's the Luke Shaw news that sent everyone into a bit of a meltdown. Obviously, he's not played, I think, 90 minutes since February. Now it looks as though he could be out for the Community Shield, not fit for the beginning of the season. This is a player that, despite not playing a full game for Manchester United for over 6 or 7 months or whatever it was, or 5 months, we can do my maths, still went to the Euros. And that upset a lot of people questioning that. But the counter argument was, well, if he wasn't fit, he wasn't fit. And if he is fit towards the end of the season or by the time the Euros comes around, there's nothing wrong with that as long as he's fit for Manchester United. The problem is he isn't fit for Manchester United, and that's just really annoying because we're now in a position where we've got no Tyrell Malacia. I don't know what's going on with him. Luke Shaw is a doubt again, and we're having to look at potentially Harry Hamas coming in. Now, Harry Hamas did very well in pre-season. You saw we spoke to him during pre-season, I think after the Real Betis game. He had some very good performances, and he was a player whose performances got better as pre-season went along. If you look at the way he played against the likes of Rangers, compared out to the way he played against the likes of Arsenal, Real Betis, he kept getting better and better. So it's not a dig at him. It is just frustrating that Luke Shaw, a player who has had injury problems over the last 5 years, I think he's missed 50% of the games, he's now a doubt again for not just the Community Shield. I think we can all stomach that one, but also looking ahead towards the beginning of the season. That's the main issue there. Plus, you've got other defenders out. You've got Lenny Oro out, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof. United seems to be going into the new season weaker than we were the previous season, end of the previous season. We've already lost Rafael Varane. Obviously, Willy Camboila's gone out as well. Anthony Martial's gone out. You might argue that's no great loss because he's injured all the time. We've brought in Joshua Zirkzee and Lenny Oro is injured. So are Manchester United worse off than we were last season? I'll let you get involved in the chat and the comments and let me know what you think. In terms of transfers, I don't want to be the prophet of doom here, but again, it's nothing too positive. Saw an article in the Express talking about Manchester United's sort of transfer nightmare, and it is getting a little bit like that because we haven't got any deals done since we got the Joshua Zirkzee and Lenny Oro deals done at the beginning of the transfer window or earlier on in the transfer window, and everything seems to have gone a little bit quiet. Manuel Ugarte doesn't seem like that's happening anymore. I know there's still rumours that it could happen, but it seems to have gone cold on that front. Also, the Matthijs de Ligt transfer. Now, this is an interesting one because there were reports that the Matthijs de Ligt transfer was dependent on Bayern Munich buying Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, if you look online today, you'll see lots of websites reporting that the the Jonathan Tah deal from Bayer Leverkusen to Bayern Munich looks like it's off. Bayer Leverkusen apparently were putting a bit of a deadline on that transfer. That was last night. That didn't happen. So there's reports there that move could be off, and that could affect Bayern Munich's willingness to sell Matthijs de Ligt or not, depending on who you read. I think a few websites, I think Give Me Sport, one or two others, are indicating, and Manchester Evening News have been picking up on this as well, indicating that perhaps that deal, Matthijs de Ligt, could still happen, but it's not looking likely. Manchester United are unwilling to pay the 42 million quid that Bayern Munich want. Manchester United are willing to pay around 30 million quid. Bayern Munich, despite not getting Jonathan Tah, would be willing to sell Matthijs de Ligt if United met their transfer fee, but we're not going to because we can't sell the players we need to sell. And this is part of what the Express was saying as well. Manchester United's transfer policy this summer seems to be dependent on us moving a few players on. Now, at the beginning of the window, I was stood here and I was talking about Jadon Sancho going, about potentially Mason Greenwood, about Casemiro, about Scott McTominay, about Aaron Wan-Bissaka, all these players that were going to leave and we're going to get loads of money for him, and that was going to sort of fund our spending this summer, a big summer spending spree. Now, only Mason Greenwood has left. Casemiro doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, there's still these rumours about Saudi Arabia, but that's all they are, is rumours. Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. What's happening with that? I've been talking about that move for the last 2 weeks. Still hasn't happened. Scott McTominay to Fulham. Fulham came in, I think, with a £20 million bid. United said that's not enough. And Fulham said, right, fine. They haven't increased it. So that doesn't look like it's happening either. Jadon Sancho potentially could be going to PSG, but potentially it could not. We're still stood in this sort of limbo where all these deals sort of don't seem to be going anywhere. And that could leave Manchester United in a real sticky position at the minute, because if we can't move any players on, then we can't bring anyone in. And if we can, we are literally going to go into the new season weaker than we left last season. And we know we had issues last season. I think we had 66 injuries all in total. We know we've had injuries already in this summer, losing the likes of Lenny Yoro and Rasmus Højlund, and now potentially Luke Shaw's not fit as well. So we've got injury issues, plus we've not made the signings we should make. One of the signings we did bring in is injured, and we've got a striker that we're relying on that's also injured in Rasmus Højlund. It ain't looking too rosy, and I don't like being moody and gloomy. I'm a pretty positive person who's always saying 21 is coming as I sit there in my straight jacket dribbling, but even I'm struggling to look too positively ahead towards the season. Manchester United needs to do some more transfer business. Hopefully, Ineos can get their finger out and make it happen. Just a little quick one as well. David De Gea, it looks like, could be heading to Fiorentina. He's had basically a season off. Reports yesterday, we were tweeting about this, that he could be heading to Fiorentina. I think the Evening News and a few other places, a few other websites and newspapers have reported that. About time, really. You'd expect a goalkeeper, I think he's 33, of that calibre at that age to be going somewhere. Looks like his destination could be Serie A. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you are getting involved in the comments. Hit like, share and subscribe. I'm going to be back later on. We're going to have the preview for the Community Shield, or the Charity Shield as I like to call it, and also we'll be back later on this evening with the Brew. We'll have me, Joe Smith and Stephen Alston for that one. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.